All right, so let's start from here so people at home, people watching the recording know what's happening. So today's session it is about Resonant OS and the development of Resonant OS. Uh, in During this weekend, I've been working with the Resonant OS, trying to bring it at a higher level, so adding more functionality and trying to understand what's going on with this software to make it more compatible with the DAO. And the major thing to make it compatible with the DAO was to solve the browser aspect, which was something not fully clear to me how to make it work, and therefore I try to allow the team and to actually work on it. So Tom had a try and start working on it and find a way to make it work through a series of skilled hack to make it work within, I think it's called the Turi, the system that we are using. And apparently, during this weekend, I understood why we were all struggling. I mean, Tom and I, we were really struggling on making this browser working correctly within the system. And for the problem here is within Tom, is it called the Turi? What's the system? I
Yeah,
think it's Turi, right?
Tory shell. Yeah, the
Tourist
Tory
shell.
shell.
Okay. So within this tourist shell, apparently there is a way to implement a browser, but not the browser that we need. The browser that we need needs to be able to have extension, needs to be able to work on the blockchain, so to log in with the Phantom wallet and so on. So that part, it's not difficult, it's impossible. That was the moment of drama. Okay, so it's not possible to make it work with this Turing shell. So what I did, I tried to use AI, of course, ask, okay, how we solve this problem, and the AI suggested to use Electrum shell, I think it's called something like this.
Yeah.
Um, and then he built it, of course, so transferring everything, refactoring everything, building everything, and then realizing that it cannot work in there as well. Okay, and this is the beauty of AI, that even though I ask to do a deep research, fully understand what is the next path and so on, it's suggested as a best path something that wouldn't work. And uh, and then I decide, okay, I'm not gonna trust it. I'm gonna decide myself what's the solution. And I decided to explore this other alternative, which is instead of embedding a browser within Resonant OS, we add Resonant OS to a browser. That's what I've done. So I'm going to share the screen so you have a look at this extremely early version of it. And what are the challenges, what we need to discover, because this is a new path that we need to understand fully before committing. Screen sharing is this one. So this is the this is our browser. Okay, this of course is a Chromium. Okay, so it's not like I create a browser. This is a Chromium. Why we use a Chromium? Because from my experience, looking at Comet, the browser from Perplexity, use a Chromium. Look, this is one of the best, if not the best, browser driven by AI. Okay, which I use every day. This is the browser that I use personally. And before using Comet, I used to use Brave because Brave was the best browser for blockchain, for that kind of technology, okay, for DAOs and so on, as in an embedded wallet and so on. So both of those company, Brave and Perplexity, use Chromium. So without thinking too much, I thought, okay, Chromium probably is the best direction to build what I need to do, both for AI, both and Phantom. So this is what we have at the moment. We have add-ons, sorry, how do you, extensions. That this is the extension of the Resonant OS. This is the Phantom wallet, and we have here the sidebar of that we can open and have the chat with the Resonant OS. Okay, at the moment it's already working. Not everything. Now, what I'm testing here is, for example, if in theory, if I said Take me to manoloremidi.com. Okay, the past works. Let's see if it's gonna work. But in theory, you see, we have already an interface that works. AI works. Who are you? Let's see what it says. But it's already working. We already have some of the functionality. So some of the functionality is being transferred in here, and the okay, it's doing some answer, but what in the older version was like this. Okay, so we're gonna try to rebuild this kind of thing. Hermes, it's actually, this one is a web page. Okay, so it's a web interface and a web app, and the same is for open code. Okay, so in reality, we can re-achieve this. And at the beginning, if you remember, for those that are new, maybe you never saw, the original first version of Resonant OS was actually a web app. So we can bring back some of those elements through the web app and have a new version of Resonant OS. So I'm now totally happy about keep changing direction because it's a lot of work and it's pretty frustrating. But that is something that we need to see together. At the moment, this is like my exploration towards this direction that I'm gonna create kind of orphan branch on GitHub. So whatever I have today is gonna be shared so we can test it. So Tom asked for this already, so uh, I can share it, and so I can't even spell the name. So okay, sorry. We can we can have a look and see what we think and test it out. The real advantage here is we can move with the DAO in a way that we couldn't do before. The problem we have with DAO is that we need to sign a lot of action through the wallet. Okay, so the ability of having the wallet embedded within the app is extremely important. It's something that we had before in the first version of Resonant OS when it was a web app because was possible because it was there in the browser. Something instead that is extremely hard to do within the app that we were trying to build. Another thing that we should consider is actually if we could have, this would be even a better direction, if we could have just an extension. So Resonant OS is not even a normal app, it's as a browser extension. What it means is that you get an extension that gives you this sidebar, and it either control the browser, but also has a proper web app incorporated that look like something like this one, okay? And we have all those functionality, but they are all inside the browser. Gonna stop sharing and trying to collect your vibe and feedbacks.
Yeah, so the Tori browser or the Tori shell is a bit of a dead end unless you do what I did, which was essentially put it on a layer and then just do an event drop through, which is a good hack, but still a hack. So having it in an extendable piece for Chromium is probably a better technical way. There's challenges there because it's you're getting a screenshot stream. It's not a live browser, but it's a screenshot stream. So we'll have to test the performance inside of the extension if we go that direction. But as you see, having the browser embedded into, or having the extension embedded into the shell gives us the ability to have the sidecar, which is already built in, and it's page aware, which is already built in. So that's nice to be able to have. And I think retooling it back to the browser version it's going to be a little bit of a challenge because we moved a little bit further down the road since the alpha. But if we're going to abandon the Tory shell, then I mean, we just have to do it. It's not the
Yeah,
first, if not the first time anybody's ever had to change directions more than once. So let's not feel bad about having to switch and swap back and forth. This is all tricky stuff.
Mumir, go ahead.
I'm just thinking that maybe this browser version can have basic functionalities about agent management and total functionalities about DAO and everything. And the app can have been the terminal workstation where do we work with the agents more extensively. So we can keep the both maybe projects alive and develop further whole governance and transactions and everything what we needed. And it can be under one ID that works on both sides. Maybe it doesn't have to be either or and then both. I don't know. And just wanted to share also something. Just stumbled on one also sovereignty project has a cold wallet identification USB device, which is kind of interesting. They are from this other sovereignty, which we mentioned before. You, Manolo, didn't know this this big crew of sovereignty movement, especially in USA, which are kind of edgy. Galactic Federation. There is a lot of stuff there, but they made this blockchain project and created this wallet. It may be interesting to see how it's work and so the ID can be just USB, and we can plug it into
Yeah.
browser extension, app, wherever. No.
So Phantom Wallet support a hardware wallet like I don't know if that one in specific because I don't know. There are two major really famous hardware wallet in blockchain. One is the Nano something, I can't remember now. And actually, I can't remember any of them, but I own one of them, which is uh, similar kind of a hardware, and but this is something that each one of us. This is an individual choice. It's my one is called the Trezor. It looks like this one. Okay, again, USB connect. You identify yourself through hardware, so it's really hard to hack, much more secure and so on. But this is an advanced thing that we each one of us can decide to do it or not. It makes sense when you start having some uh, value in it, and because those hardware are not free and they more or less between 50 and $200. It depends what you buy. But yeah, thank you, Mamir. Anyone else wants to add? All right. So uh, I want to share a little bit of a couple of things. Okay. First of all, this is a tiring moment. It's because this is, keep getting stuck to this initial part, which I would like to speed it up. Uh, but we must find a solution that is really high compatible with AI and blockchain, which is something that we don't have other examples because most of people do one or the other. So there is not really an example of what we are building. Therefore, we are experimenting, and by experimenting, we are learning different things. So what we learned so far is the browser is a is extremely important part of it because we don't want to build our own wallet. We don't want to build things that are technically really complex, but also really risky because there is money involved inside those wallets. So we want something that is extremely tested, that everybody trusts, and it's really solid. Okay, so we want to stay compatible with the Phantom wallet. And to be compatible with Phantom Wallet, we need a browser, okay? Or us be present within a browser. So that is the what we are going to explore. Now, uh, probably later today or maybe during this call, I can ask AI to push whatever we have ready now, and so can be available for you to at least have a look at it. Next things that we need to look in today's call is actually agree on a short and medium term roadmap, okay, with the things that need to be done, specific things. And the people say, I'm going to do this, yes or no. Or, I mean, I want this to be extremely clear. Okay, this is a community project, so it's open to everybody to participate. But doesn't mean that you need to do it. Okay, it's not me telling you you must do something for the community. No, what is here is about is say we agree on what is going to be. We need to do it for Resonant OS to go from A to B. Okay, we already shared the long-term roadmap, which is still a draft, but we need to work on it. So you have an idea of what is going to happen. Now we need to finalize what is going to happen in the next few months. And to do this, I would love your help, but don't feel like forced to do it. But if you say you're going to do something, okay, you need to put like a deadline. I'm going to do it within this date. And if you change idea, you just let me know. And that is extremely important because I don't want to keep waiting. Okay, we've been waiting at the moment because there was this, community wants to participate, but then everybody's busy, everybody's doing things, and it's taking time. Okay, it's taking more time than if I would have done by myself. So if you can't do it, it's fine. I do it myself. Okay, so we can move a faster speed. We have to sync with what is happening in the world. Okay, we can't have we are not on our own timeline. Okay, we are on a timeline connected to reality, and reality is moving. So we need to move within this reality. And there are two things that are moving actually three things that are moving in parallel. Okay, one is AI, of course. Another thing is blockchain. So we need to be synced with the world of AI and blockchain. Another element that is the outside world by us is the growth of this community. Okay, so we need to stay sync with those three elements. The growth of community is also connected with the speed of which my YouTube channel is growing. Because at the moment, I'm bringing 99.9% of the people inside the community. So more my channel grows and more community members are going to join. And therefore, we need to stay in sync with this. Now, what is happening here is we all know that AI is growing exponentially. Okay, there's more mass adoption is growing and is getting bigger and bigger. The blockchain, we know that it was within the cycle of 4 years. Okay, we're about to end by around October. Is going to end the down trend. Okay, when the blockchain reach the bottom and then start to be steady for a couple of years and then go up again. There is a reason why this cycle happened. You can believe or not, do some research, understand, or ask questions. I'm going to explain. But the blockchain cycle lasts 4 years. Every 4 years, this happens, and it's connected to how Bitcoin is being built. It's a technology system that push these 4 year cycles. Now we need to sync with them. To sync with them, we have our internal deadline, and we need to say, okay, this is what we need to achieve. As a community, we have because we are building a project that is based on blockchain, we have some elements that we need to achieve, some goals that we need to achieve. The community size, community speed of growth, okay, community engagement. All those elements are really important to decide when we can go live with our token. Okay, how much money we can somehow have as a liquidity pool. Okay, so distribution of token is extremely important. So there is a series of things that we need to do. Now we need to write them down. So I asked Chimo to do a miracle. I don't know if he managed to do it. I'm trying to give him time. Chimo, how is he going there?
I got a basic thing. So what we can do is we can start using this tool, which is just directly dumped, but I'll modify it to improve it with the task and the description as Manolo was saying, and then we can just agree that anything that we know belongs to what Manolo lists as immediate things we need. We put it as high. And then if it's one of my things that I really want to do, I'm doing some stuff with many of you that are great things, but they're not as urgent. So then please just put it in low priority so we can easily organize and know that, okay, I also want to have fun with my own little things that I'm developing, but the main task I committed to is this one. And then, for this, yeah, Manolo?
Yeah, no, didn't
For
say
this,
anything.
what would be good would be if, Manolo, we also, in a basic shared document I can give, we just start putting crudely those, what you describe right now, just list the items and start to attribute dates and emergency status.
Okay, thank you, Chimo. So exactly. So we need to set a priority not for our personal point of view, our personal benefit, but this is what we are prioritizing is the success of the community, success of the DAO. Okay, so it's not what I love doing, it's not what I like, it's nothing else than the success of the DAO.
And then I will also share with you a basic calendar. Tom asked me for this, and I think we need it for many different reasons. Is a common calendar that all of us can edit and can add, and that contains these meetings with the link on Zoom, but also if any of the items from the Excel list that I showed before from the sheet have a specific hard milestone, then we also put it here. So it's easy for us to also see it within a calendar because the sheet, it can be. So I think I will try to update both in parallel and I will give access to all of you. I have Tom, Manolo, Sam, Greg. So please, anybody else that wants to be included and wants to commit to tasks and work, if you give me your Gmail, you put it either on the chat to me or whatever, I'll add you on the calendar and everything so you can edit the calendar, see your tasks or however. And just be patient and modify things. I mean, what we just came up with this right now. There will be a better calendar we will have. There will be a better Excel sheet. So we just need to make it work better. Delete the columns that are just redundant or whatever it is as we go.
Yes, exactly. Thank you, Chimo. Especially because I totally understand people that don't want to use Google, and so no Google Doc, no Google Calendar. It's all good. I totally understand. But this is what we have at the moment. The alternative is something that we need to build. And if you really care, build it. Okay, so we build it, we add inside the Resonant OS, and then become part of what we can use. At the moment, like I said, we need to work on the priority, and I think the priority is a Resonant OS that works with can leverage actually the DAO. So before we move to writing down things and talk about specific, anyone else want to share any comment?
I have a question.
Go ahead.
You guys use, I'm sorry, I joined in kind of late, so I missed a lot of it. But I hear you guys talking about committing or working together as a team. So are you guys running a GitHub project behind this, like an open source? Because that would be very easy and anybody could pull a commit and run a task like you're saying. It's just how I think how I've been working with open source projects.
Yes, so we are on GitHub. We are going to use GitHub, and we are using GitHub. So a lot of things will be transferred to GitHub, but we use GitHub mainly for the software, for the Resonant OS part of it. But we also run in the community. So there is other things that need to be done for the communities, and they are not part of any software. So at the moment, we write everything in this document, and then we find a way to transfer For example, Tom look after the tech team and the GitHub. So we already have a Kanban, I think it's called, within GitHub, so we can add elements there, and then the software part can just work in that area.
See, I also have a question regarding let me put my camera on. Driving it.
So you said you have a question. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, I have a question regarding how is the DAO connected to Resonant OS? Because the DAO is good for, in my opinion, for distributing tokens evenly, and I get the aspects behind the DAO, and you've chosen Solana and Phantom Wallet to do that part. How is Resonant OS different than, well, how are they using blockchain in this case? Is what I'm not understanding so far.
So there's a few elements. Okay, one, you need to think about that this is a contribution economy. So your contribution is part of, to simplify, let's say, to your ranking, to your reputation within the community. So the more you contribute, the more reputation you gain, and reward in token you receive. So that means we need to measure all of this, okay? Your contribution, how you contribute, what you do, and so on. So we need to have a place where this can happen. Resonant OS wants to become this place for the DAO to interact, work together, and so on. Because we live in a era of AI, okay, we embed an AI that we own. Okay, this AI is, you need to see as a sort of a strategist. Okay, is an AI that work with you at high level, and then delegate anything to anything else. Okay, so we are not rejecting like Hermes or open code, but we use them directly when we want, or we call with our own AI, the AI that knows us deeply, to actually delegate to other agents the work. And the main AI has all the memory, all the infrastructure needed. Okay, so we have one AI that we can trust because we own it, that can work with everything else. And the platform is the platform for the contribution economy. So everything inside that platform is connected to the blockchain. So every action, the team that you build, the work that you do can be measured and rewarded. I'm trying to simplify because it's a long chat, but I hope it makes sense.
Yeah, I kind of, I'm following through. So basically, it's kind of like Hermes, as it's how it gets smarter. Resonant OS will also get smarter as people have issues and their problems get solved, and it creates or commits a new skill set. So it adds it to its skill sessions and base knowledge. Is that how it's going to be working?
So yeah, in somehow you can see in that way, but it's not, Resonant OS doesn't want to replace Hermes. Okay, it wants to actually to work together with Hermes. The difference here is that you have Hermes that is a really incredible, really good agent. So an agent you can see as something that work, that does things. Okay, so it's a worker. The main AI instead is a strategist. It works for us to a high level. Okay, so it knows us deeply, and then can help us navigating whatever. Okay, in Hermes instead is the hand that goes there and actually build the software, organize the calendar, whatever. Okay. Say again, sorry.
Yeah, so it's like the workhorse. So the LLMs
Yeah.
or the agents are the workhorses.
Yeah, exactly. So one is the strategist, the one AI that we can trust, that knows us, and so on. And the rest, it's their workers. And yeah, so anyone else wants to add or ask any questions?
Well, just a quick one. Did any of you that have shared your email receive an invite to the calendar? Tom, Sam, Greg, Sol. Uh,
That was Gmail.
I received 2 invites.
okay, cool. That's good.
I got it.
Let me check.
Got it.
Cool.
Yes, thank you. All right, so let's write down a few of those to do inside that document. What do you think, Chimo?
Yeah.
So how does it work? You share the document,
Yeah, I'm gonna share the document.
so everyone can
Edit.
write on it, right?
Yeah. Anyone that has the link will be able to edit.
I see there is some new people, and if you feel like introducing yourself and I don't know, share some thoughts, you're welcome. This is, the idea of learning together. So don't worry if you don't fully understand everything. Just ask.
I have a
And
question, Manolo. Why did you choose Solana?
so Solana has a series of advantages. It's not perfect. There is no perfect blockchain. But for the scale to which we want to build, we need something that is fast and cheap. That is one thing. But also we need a lot of liquidity. When I say fast and cheap, there is a lot of blockchain that can be really fast and really cheap. There are also blockchain that on paper are faster than Solana. But on reality, we don't know anything that is faster than Solana, that is being tested. Okay, so while we know that Solana can run at the speed that we need, on fact, not on paper, other blockchain never prove that they can actually do it. So that is one thing. Second, we need a lot of liquidity, a lot of money, because we're not looking for a small blockchain, a small project. We're looking for something big. So we need a lot of money to be present inside the blockchain. So there is not many alternative in that sense. And Ethereum is one, but it's low, it's expensive, but has a lot of money. Then there is Solana, which is cheap and fast, and there is a lot of money, a massive adoption, is one of the most used blockchain in the world. So that is the reason. Resonant OS doesn't want to be connected to one single chain. So in the future, we could look into expanding into other blockchain. So don't look at this as the ending point, but this is the starting point.
I see. And so me personally, I've been working with Cardano a long time.
Yeah.
And I do believe that zero knowledge proofs will be the next evolution to blockchain, because you want to do selective disclosure and you want to apply this kind of system to small businesses and lawyers, CPAs. Everybody needs to be able to use this kind of system without having to
I
show
know Cardano really well. Cardano is probably on paper the best blockchain out there, but unfortunately, it's on paper, not in practice. Okay, when Cardano is gonna show that actually can do what they promise and they can move at a speed where can actually work and also has liquidity needed, then it will be an amazing place to build. At the moment, it's lacking those 3 elements, so it's 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 cool, but it's on
they
paper.
have a treasury as well. They also have a treasury that we can submit to the treasury for as a project, and we can get funded that way as well through the community funds. It's
Yeah,
just as secure. I'm not understanding the speed part because what are we using the speed finality as far as the OS?
so speed is required in the world of AI. You're gonna have different agents working with each other. Okay, and the cost and speed of this transaction is extremely important. So the speed it's not like we need to have uh, those AI needs to work at the microseconds because it's not about this, but it is about a system that even though there are hundreds of thousands of transactions every second, they go through. That is the idea. Okay, and Cardano didn't prove that they can do it at the moment.
Okay. I mean, I hope you guys are open to other protocols in the future
Yeah.
as
We are
well.
open. We are open.
I think
It's not about closing anything here. It's all about open
yeah,
to everything. But we need to start somewhere, and we start to the one that is more likely to win at the moment. Okay,
completely understand.
it's just strategy. Then we will adapt and adopt other chains. Pascal.
Yeah, understood.
I
I've got other things that I can put as far as like X402 protocol. Have you heard of that?
Uh, I'm not sure, but at the moment, this call we need to focus on the task of this call. But you can come back. I think on Wednesday probably is a good day, or Thursday is also a good day. We can talk about more about blockchain and technology and what to do there. Actually,
Sure.
talk about technology is a Wednesday call. That is the best one. Pascal, go ahead.
What would help me too is documenting the technologies we're using to build things. So, like when I was building the Resonant OS locally, I saw it was mostly built. It's largely a Rust application, right? And I think just having some of that documented so that those of us who are going to commit to doing work know what areas we need to kind of develop for ourselves. That would be very helpful for me.
So this is my thinking. Okay, again, I'm not a professional engineer, let's say. So my thinking was in this way: there is a SDK within the GitHub with Resonant OS that should, in theory, explain how to build for Resonant OS. And also, the moment that you give the repository to the AI, you can ask AI itself and say, we need to build for this. Okay, so that was my thinking. Maybe it's not enough. Okay, I don't know. I might be naive about this, but this is how I would have done myself, and I thought it would be a good path for everybody to address this. The documentation, in theory, again, should be inside the GitHub. There should be a doc folder, and some information should be already present in there. But a more advanced documentation should be written once we have a final system that actually works. Because at the moment, each system that we have, it's an alpha, works, but not everything, not totally. So I was waiting for something that would be much more stable, and then say, okay, now we know what it is, and we can, write a documentation about it.
The SDK will allow you to see what the add-on format is. If you just ask your agent to look at the SDK, and we already have a couple of add-ons that are present, and we just follow those patterns. So unless you're working on the core system, but if you're working on the add-on, the SDK is defined, and Manolo has another version of it, but the one that we have is adequate for building. I've already put 2 in there, so you can just model that.
So what I suggest at the moment, because we are in this moment of deciding how to move forward, probably, I mean, you can still develop, because the good thing with AI, you develop something, then you refactor for a new system. So it's not like you waste the entire time. but there is a chance that we are gonna move into this browser system, so things might be needed to be built in a different way. Probably it's gonna be a web app, okay, but maybe some elements can be extension itself. Okay, so some are in part of the web app, some are is browser extensions that add some abilities to the browser itself. But yeah, so we need to a little bit thinking about this. This is so fresh because I just discovered that we had this problem that cannot be solved. That is the thing, okay? When you face a problem that this cannot be solved, you need to adapt, okay? And at the moment, I'm thinking this is the best way to adapt. Okay, we move into a browser because the browser can become anything at the end. Okay, we can change if it's our, we can change it in the way that we want. If we want to make it easier, and somehow we create this add-on. So going back to Chimo's document, maybe we need to write. I don't know if people have been started writing. Thank you, Sam, for start writing. So at the moment, don't think about this document as the final document. Everything needs to be perfect, and so on. So now that I see some, okay, so for the community point of view, the project that Sam is building, it's in reality it's not high priority for the community. Okay, for some is maximum priority. So some will be focused on that one, and it's completely fine. Okay, for us as a priority, the priority is understanding. First priority is understanding which architecture we should use. Is the browser? Is the tourist shell or something? At the moment, for me, the best candidate is the browser, but we need to actually look deeply and see is the browser creating other problems that cannot be solved, and therefore we trap ourselves again into a cul-de-sac. I'm speaking French now. Uh, because can I ask a favor? This is I need help from you guys. Um, because the silence doesn't transfer through internet. Okay, so I really don't understand if the silence is because you're not understanding, or if because you have nothing that you are willing to do, or you're waiting for someone to tell you what to do. Is would be nice if you share in the chat or on the on audio what is happening in your mind, Pascal.
So I think if I were approaching this myself, I would probably define some really high level strategic things that we, kind of pillars of the project, and then look at defining goals for meeting those strategic objectives, and and that's where you can kind of turn to AI to help get a scaffold for kind of project planning and project management. Um,
Exactly.
yeah, because just like jumping into a spreadsheet, I think that's a little, well, to me that's a little bit um, too, like, that comes a little bit later.
So this is my thinking. Okay, in while I could do this by myself on my own and be fine. What I want instead is the community to participate. Okay, so I'd like you to share something. Then we can do what you're talking about. Okay, then we can give this to the AI, add other elements. I didn't want to push my agenda, okay, my thing, because it needs to be agreed by the community. But it's at least I see what people want to work on. So Sam and Tom put something there. Okay, now I know what they have in their mind. Because again, the silence, which is fine, but it doesn't transfer the intent. Okay, at the moment, everyone that didn't say anything, I don't know what they have in mind, so I don't know the intent. So you can write whatever. Okay, it's not there is no right and wrong. You write what you think should be done and what you think is your priority. Then we put them in the timeline, and then we organize them for priority. What is more important, this or this? Pascal, go ahead.
For myself, I just want to kind of be a worker bee, because I frankly I don't know enough about the kind of components and the overall vision for what's the end. You know, even stating like having a page of what does the end state look like? What is the user experience of this thing once it's done, and what functionality does it afford? And then we can kind of pick it apart and say, okay, well, we need to develop this piece and this piece, and then getting all those things down. And then maybe people will say, oh, well, you know, I have some experience doing that. I could help out with that. But in the absence of that, it's just like I'm happy to contribute wherever I best can.
If
And
I
I'm
could
happy
clarify,
to do like documentation or, you know, whatever. So,
so if I
Thank you.
could clarify, we have two paths here. We've got the core OS that we're working on. Top priority, obviously, is the browser and connectivity to Phantom Wallet, and then all the other things like the piece that Sam is working on. That's an add-on. So add-ons are an open field for anybody. If you want to build an add-on, if you're building something that will be bolted on later, that's an agent that does a special thing, right? That can be added on now, and you can go ahead and use the existing add-on architecture. Don't worry about having to move that over. We'll figure out that part, but build it as an add-on. Those things are, like I said, separated from what we're doing in the core. In the core, we're trying to get to an MVP, which is a browser, the wiki, and the augmenter, and the memory system. Those are the key aspects of the main ROS that we need to have functioning and ready to go. That's unless I'm off there, Manalo. I think that's really our MVP. Those pieces.
Yeah, so there is one thing to consider. Okay, so what is happening with Resonant OS that is now is we keep moving because we try to make it better. But what is happening here is that we have sort of alpha version of it. Okay, because everything is an experiment. We are truly navigating the unknown in the sense we don't know what it should look like, the end product. So we are trying to by navigating this, understanding what works, what it doesn't, and so on. And because we are building something that should be able for everybody to own it and be sovereign about it, so meaning also edit and modify it and do whatever with it, it's that create a series of also challenges to keep it so open, and means also complexity. Now, when, for example, if I write everything how it should work and so on, apart that is a massive job, but when I do it, if I done really well in writing everything, I give it to the AI and say, okay, build it, because now AI has everything. Okay, once we document how things work, AI can write the code. The the challenge sometimes here is that, for example, I gave AI a lot of clarity information, but then AI didn't build what I asked. Okay, so what we have at the moment is things that are not aligned with how they should work for whatever reason. Okay, AI loves to do this kind of magic. Uh, so sometimes what we need to do is actually test the system and say, okay, this is not doing what it's supposed to do. or I think it should do something else, something more. So there is some add-ons to which I'm pretty happy about, like the Hermes add-on. But now we need to check if Hermes and the Augmento work correctly together. Okay, so that is test. Then you try, you find a problem, and you fix it, and then you push it to the dev so we can test it and then push it to the main. I don't know if push is the right word, but you know what I
It
mean.
is. That's right.
So sometimes it is about this thing. How you try something and see, okay, this is it's not working properly. The memory system, for example, sometimes it's, I don't know, there's a bug or something. So that is something that we should really look into, because I mean, if we don't test, we don't know if it works or not. Okay, we just know that it's there. Uh, Yeah, so I mean, I totally understand you, Pascal, and I'm grateful of bringing this clarity. Um, I will think more in those terms so I can support you better in contributing with us.
Yeah. Um, I've got the browser version working here. It's maybe it would give some clarity if I could just show you what the MVP, our starting point is, and we're trying to work from here. But essentially, these are like the core elements. You guys mind if I share?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. So let me share this. Okay. So when you first log into this, it's going to have log in, create an account, and then once you get into the interface, this is what we have so far as an MVP. Let me minimize this. So available workspaces, these are all the add-ons that we were talking about. Like this one I've added, another one over here that I've added, just following the architecture that's in the SDK. But this is where we can really contribute. The outer piece, the actual browser and the ROS itself, we're trying to get that to the stage where you've got a browser that works, and you've got the workspaces that are available, and you've got all the add-ons. This is still busy, but we're trying to refine this part and determine what the user sees on the first opening of ROS. So whether this is in the browser or whether this is in the client, this is kind of what we're working towards. And if you've seen other demonstrations, Manolo has a whole lot of add-ins that are, kind of lined up here on the left side. We're trying to clean that up so it's a little bit easier to navigate. But this is sort of the effect. Log in, you see a home screen. There's add-ons that you can add on, and you can start the onboarding process by essentially starting to fill the memory and adding information into the system by adding folders and memory. It's not fleshed out, but this is the idea, right? Get to an MVP that's simple and easy. This one is not yet simple and easy.
Yeah, thank you, Tom. So, I mean, already from what Tom showed us, what we need to do is to have the onboarding that needs to be improved, then the memory system, the delegation system. So AI delegation protocol. I'm typing inside the document. The new add-on SDK for the browser. I don't know how to call it, browser. Resonant browser for now. So already there is a few things to look at. So to create be able to write the new SDK, we actually need to implement new add-ons. So create some add-ons. So Hermes add-on for the browser and the open code.
Oh, I'm sorry. I was typing over you, Mo. Go ahead. I'll stop typing.
Say again?
I'll stop typing. I was typing at the same time. Go ahead.
No, I'm on that document. I don't know if you see. I wrote from line 10 to 15. I wrote a few things.
Yep, I see.
Then we need to be sure that the augmentor and the browser can talk. Let's say. So they actually, let's say in different ways. So the augmentor control the browser. This is another thing that is it's at the moment I show you, right? So you saw a little bit that some control is there, but it's not the same of for example, you go in a form and you say to your browser, to your augmentor to fill the form. Is it capable of doing it or not? Actually, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna give this thinking. Um, and I'm gonna share the screen so we can see in real time. Please, I know that I'm a little bit pushy, but please share a little bit your thoughts on this.
Well, I don't know. I'm a bit stuck at the moment because I don't really know what exactly is required. And so I don't see myself to be in the position to make a task list because I really don't know what is missing and what needs to be done. But also, to be honest, I'm still on the verge of installing um, Resonant OS. So maybe I will get some more insights when I get that done. I hope I get this done during the week.
I
But
find
in
it's
general, huh?
if you don't know what to do, if you don't know how you can help,
Yeah.
start by working out what your use case is for the project. Start by working out, like, so how, if you were to have it and it magically worked, how would you use it? Then work out what add-ons need to be added to make that work, and then
Yeah.
work out if you want to start working on one of those add-ons. So you just assume the project works, and then just start trying to build an add-on, and then see how you go. Test the product, test the Resonant OS as it is, whatever you
Yeah,
find of it,
exactly.
test it, let people
I
know.
need to get to
That's
testing
how.
it.
So for anyone who doesn't know what they can do, you just start there, and so you just test stuff.
Yeah. All right.
So yeah, but again, don't feel pressure. If you don't, it's not like you must do anything. Okay, it's as a community, we should allow everybody to participate. You're gonna be rewarded for the work you do, so it should be, you'll be able to do whatever you want to do. don't want to do anything. It's all good. It's just it's honestly, I'm doing it by myself. I'm one of those people that like to share the pleasure of building. So I'm this is the moment that I'm sharing.
And also think you don't need to be at the level of Tom, Manolo, Chris. You there's a lot you can offer. We have new people coming in that don't join the meetings because the level is so high, but there's Tuesdays, there's automation on Fridays where you could share what you do that doesn't need to be developing at this level. There's also the soft landing for people where we should engage and show them the way, show them how to think better about AI. There's a lot. Yeah, we just need to be better at helping you find that and add that.
Yeah, Timo, just be better.
I don't want to try.
Yeah, exactly. Get good.
So,
No,
all
because
right. So,
sorry, you don't realize how much you can offer, even the people like me that are not as advanced. When you talk to people that are not using AI, there's so much that you guys take for given that new people that are joining, they are clueless, and it's such a power what we have here in the brain and the knowledge. We just need to be able at transferring that so people feel welcome, they feel like they're learning useful things. So please help me out Fridays, for instance, Thursdays. I'll keep pestering you for that. Don't worry, we're not going to solve it today. Sorry, Manolo, go on.
Yeah, sure.
uh, no, yeah, now I remember. The one thing that, okay, so this is the extremely short term. Okay, so I probably, at least the elements that I wrote down, I'm going to uh, have it done within this week. Uh, and then push it to the main. So we're gonna replace the main uh, because it doesn't make sense to keep sharing an older version of Resonant OS. Um, yeah, so this is the extremely short term. Now, looking at the medium term, this is more connected to the community growth and management of the community. At the moment, the community itself is growing to. I mean, I had, because this is all connected to YouTube. Okay, so I had a couple of actually more than a couple. I have a couple of weeks of really content that is being performing.
Sam, say
Views.
something. Oh, yeah, you're back. Hi, Manolo. We lost you for a second.
Uh,
You were saying that you
so
had a couple of weeks that were very good on
yeah,
you.
some of the videos has been performing really well, and therefore they brought a lot of growth to the community itself. So in the last not even 2 weeks, I moved from 5,000 subscribers on YouTube to 7,000. So it's a big gap just in 2 weeks. So a big jump. So this meant that a lot of people joined the community as well. And so there is a lot of new people. Now we passed the 1,000 community members that are new and they don't really know what to do, how to interact with us, what we are offering, why they should be with us, and so on. Okay, there are people that has been in this community for like a Chris almost an year. Okay, Chris is here. Yeah, so
Hello. Okay.
it's so people that have been through the journey, saw all the difficulties, so from be 20 of us to now be 1,000, which is a pretty interesting journey. But nevertheless, we need to take care about the new people and help them be more participant in this. And because of the speed of which we are growing, it might be meaning that in a month we're going to be double the size of this. Okay, maybe it's not a month, maybe it's 2 months. Okay, but we are growing in this exponential curve that is pushing us in a direction that is, if we don't scale, we are going to create just chaos. Okay, and then the community will die. Then there is another huge problem that we've been talking during the weekend, that for whatever reason, okay, and it's a pretty sad for my history. Okay, for whatever reason, my YouTube channel is followed by 98 point something percent of men. Okay, and that is reflected inside the community. So there is I don't know how to describe this thing. A completely unbalanced scenario. Okay, completely broken direction. Okay, now we are thousands, and probably I know there is a handful of women in this community. Now, think about if we carry on this direction and we have 10,000, okay, we create an environment that is going to be kind of hostile somehow, okay, an environment that is going to be more and more tough for diversity to expand and explore. We need to take control about this. I know that for whatever reason, even though I've never been in this position. I always work in the creative industry where the balance is in the opposite side, is driven both in the business side and the creative side by it's balanced, but there's a lot of women. Sometimes it's more women than men. So my life is being built in that kind of environment. This is the first time in my life where I find myself in this completely different world, and I don't even know how to manage in reality. Okay, because I want to shift this, but I know that it's my YouTube channel that is creating this imbalance. I want to fix, and I'd like your help. I have no idea with how to solve this problem. Honestly, I'm trying my best to research, understand, and I have no clear idea. I don't know. Maybe it's the topic. Maybe it's how I address the topic inside the community, inside my YouTube channel. Whatever it is creating this problem. Now, my thinking here is, I found another YouTuber. She has a channel. It's really small, but she's in line with what we're doing. So my thinking was, okay, I'm gonna contact this person, and maybe through her we can expand the community in a better direction. She hasn't replied, so there is also that part. Now, but I think she didn't see the email because she was the first one to leave a message under one of my YouTube video, and she was happy about what I wrote. So she thought like, okay. Then I thought I check it out, and then I thought maybe it's good. Someone, Al Anlo, you
How do you how do you spell roughly
spell what? Sorry.
her name?
It's Mel. I'm gonna give you the link. No, I saw Anlo that raised their hand. Do you wanna say anything?
Hi, are you listening?
Yeah. Okay.
Uh, I'm sorry for my English. Um, uh, and YouTube channel uh, translate your words, but mm,
You muted your
You silence yourself, Anlo.
Anlo. You are muted for some reason.
Don't leave us in this cliffhanger.
Ask to unmute. Let's see if it works. While you find a way to unmute yourself, Anlo, because we can't hear you anymore. So Yeah, maybe I don't know. Yeah, you were talking about my YouTube channel that has subtitles, uh, but I don't know what you wanted to say about them. Uh, Sorry, better than right. Okay, you can go ahead and write. So while you're writing, and I want just to say this thing. Okay, so I'm in this scenario. I need. I don't know how to fix it, but this is a problem that is at the moment is already big, and it's gonna get bigger and bigger. So we need to take control about this. Now, I don't want to push anyone, but there is someone here that maybe can give us feedback. Bianca, I don't know. I know that you are probably at work, but if you feel like sharing anything, I don't want to push you. Okay, so but if you want to share and your point of view, your perspective, um,
You can type.
yeah, you're welcome to share it.
Well, I don't have I don't have an answer for it, but it was something that I kind of noticed a while back when I was looking online. Is I just felt like there weren't a lot of female voices in the space, so I feel like that's kind of being reflected back in the scenario. So I don't, but I'm not sure what the solution is. I have seen a few YouTubers that were females that are pretty active in the AI. So I can look to see if I can find those channels, maybe share those, and maybe there's some sort of way of collaborating with them to tap into their audience. But I'm glad that it's something that you noticed and that you feel like is important to address.
Thank you, Bianca. I mean, it's part of my journey in life. So it's always been noticing this thing. I noticed from the beginning that I started this website because I got the statistic from YouTube and I can see what it's saying, and it's just disturbing. Honestly, there are some video that is 100% men. It's just
Wow.
like just
Yeah.
Hey, Bianca, what actually attracted you to this? Are you in tech space? Why are you interested in this?
I'm not exactly. I just was very interested in AI as it was getting off the ground because like I had always wanted to be in software development, and I saw that the uses of that and being able to help me move further in that way. But right now I'm actually doing interior design, so I'm not actively involved in tech other than what I'm trying to design for our use in our industry.
Yeah.
But overall, I liked what he was talking about, and it seemed like of all the different YouTube channels that I was following, it resonated with me, and I was like, I feel like if I am going to get involved in this seems like a good sort of group to align myself with, and to as we grow and rapidly through this whole evolution.
Yeah, Bianca, I
Thank
can
you.
tell you right now we are trying to listen. So, for instance, I have a group, an AI group for beginners. We are 34, but the most active are the women. And I was asking, trying to understand what are we doing wrong here. So anything you can share with us, whether it's, YouTubers, because my peers, they mostly follow men on YouTube. They are very active following, but they follow mostly men. So if you can share with us the links to those YouTubers that are female, just so we start to
Yeah,
listen more.
I'd be glad to.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you, Bianca. I really appreciate it. And I'm on this part. I'm kind of desperate. Okay, I really, for me, it's extremely important. And honestly, I have no idea because I never felt so much on regard on this. Okay, I had DAOs in the past, and they were really balanced in any form. Okay, extremely well balanced. This one is pretty. I mean, I like all of you guys, okay, but there is a problem. Okay, so
Manolo, it may just be when you walk into a car repair garage, you may see one or two female mechanics that are super sharp, but I mean, just historically, some of these dirty jobs, it's just all guys. I don't know what the psychology is, and I don't know what the answer is. I follow this one lady here, Julia McCoy. She's been doing a great job of, putting out AI news. It's kind of a little bit more surface level, but she's kind of in alignment with us. There's maybe another one or two women, but it's mostly guys. I don't know what the answer is. Just observation.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
Sorry, Bianca, you were saying something.
No, I was just saying, yeah, I agree. It is just mostly guys, it feels like.
Yeah, so I can accept that it's not going to be balanced 50-50. Okay, what I'm struggling to upset is the 98.7, something like this.
Yeah.
That is a bit too heavy. Sorry, to Anlo, we have also the transcription, I think, of in real time. From Zoom does this transcription, correct, Chimo, or not?
It sucks a little bit with the translation.
Okay.
But Sam is gonna solve.
This
Gonna be
so
the
now it's
new.
become
He's
high
gonna be
priority
the
again.
new Esperanto guy in the world. Everybody will talk and be understood by everybody. But yeah, I don't know how to make that work in the way that Zoom is very monolingual. When you work, it can. I know it because when I work in Spanish, you have to switch languages, and it doesn't do.
Okay.
Yeah, one of the pieces.
um,
One of the things I'm working on, Manolo, was on the hub that video embedded technology is to have that do like an auto translate. And I'm, on degraded signals, it'll just do auto translate and captions. But when you have a more solid signal, it'll sort of real time translate. It's kind of a hard play. I don't know if I'll be able to actually make it work, but I'm trying to have like a universal Star Trek translator while you're watching the video.
Yeah.
May or may not be able to pull that off.
The Whisper 2, I think it's called, from OpenAI, it does this. It has this ability. Chris, you wanted to say something?
Yeah, I was thinking, why not use like some of the video generation tools and do like a avatar replacement, like record videos of yourself? Well, it's like you're just
Do
getting
what?
people to come
Do
in.
what?
Yeah, well,
Make myself
just do
more
a
pretty.
different.
What's the strategy?
No, to make yourself like completely replaced with like a woman, so and then do videos like that. And then if once there's women in the group, then it doesn't feel like a rug pull because they get here and then there's other women. So
Which, I mean, I love this idea. Maybe we should
it's like
all of us look like women,
it's like
and we can
advertising,
balance it.
That's not
That's a
creepy.
scary thought. That's a scary. I veto that. That's a scary thought, man. I don't want to see me looking like a girl. That's
I
bad.
would be happy
no,
to see
but
myself, but I find it a bit creepy, just the thought of us doing
Yeah,
anything.
creepy times 10.
you
Creepy times.
but you don't have to make it yourself like as a girl. You could just replace it with a different image altogether. Like you could create a persona, create a character. You could be Mickey Mouse if you wanted to. But when you talk about like companies, like we get marketing and advertisements and all this kind of stuff where they create characters for us to look at and connect with to bring us into the store. And none of those people are actually in the store at all. But if the information you're saying is like not false, or if you're not promising that certain people are there, I don't really see it being fake,
Chris, two things I want to say.
Might
So,
just be to actually ask the guests to come on and actually have other people join some of the videos for that sort of. If you want to get that atmosphere, you want to get that concept through.
Yeah, you could bring up other people on too.
yeah, exactly. So what I'm thinking, first of all, I appreciate your creativity, Chris. It's pretty creative solution, thinking out of the box. Okay, so I appreciate that part. On one side, I'm more like I want to be honest about who I am and how it works. But what we need to do it, which I see the problem while working with AI, is when we create the images. If you notice, AI will push these white men. Okay, so you ask, I need an image, boom. Okay, it's going to be a white man there present doing the work. Okay, so we need to be careful when we use images instead to have this more inclusive language. Okay, And so that is something that we need to take care on how we communicate through images. On the person, I like to be honest and transparent about who I am, how I look. Um, So, all right, we have a few more minutes left. I don't know if anyone wants to share something. I see, Pierre, you're talking to us and you're muted, or you are. If you're talking to us, Pierre, you're muted. If you're not talking to us, you're talking to someone else, then it's all good. We don't know this.
I'm going to text Pierre to see if it's that.
Yeah, no, maybe he's not talking to us. All right.
All right.
So I think I really don't know. It's okay. I don't know if Pierre is talking to us or not.
No, he's not.
Okay.
I think part of it would be if we make it a bit easier for beginners, the few women that we attract might stay. And if we offer them something to all sorts of people, not only women, but uh, if we offer an experience where they learn. So anybody that has ideas that can help us with what we could do on Tuesdays will help. And that's not going to solve the gender balance, but I'm sure it will help if we start to correct to make it a bit more friendly.
Yeah,
Sorry.
I mean that's for sure we should do it. But have in mind that the other two women that we know about the group, and they are they are software engineers. Actually, they're better than all of us together. Okay, so they actually know their thing, and maybe it's the reason why they're not participating. Maybe they know more than us. I don't know.
Yeah.
Uh, but yeah, we should expand our limits going.
Yeah. But
Welcome,
even
welcome
that you
everybody.
said, Manolo, what you just said, when I asked the women in my group, they told me a really advanced woman will never join a meeting and take over for 20 minutes like we do. You know, somebody that is at the level of you and Sam and Tom will never join the first meeting and say, right, I'm going to talk for 20 minutes about the shit I'm up to. For us, it's normal. A woman online doesn't join a meeting and do that. That's what they told me. So we also need to understand that there is issues with putting your face up online in a group that you don't know. I don't know if that's true, but that's what I'm hearing.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, we can only try to do our best and
learn.
And yeah, learn and listen. All right, so thanks a lot. So for those that are watching the video, I want to also share these important thing for the community. So at the moment, it's a serious problem. And when we become 10,000, 100,000, it's deadly problem. Okay, it's going to become a problem that is too big even to solve. So we need to try to find a opening as soon as possible. One thing that we need to think about, it's I'm just throwing this idea there, okay? In my previous DAOs and community, what we had a different themes, okay? It's not just about AI. Here it is also about other elements that are connected to the community and the community that we want to build. Now we are so focused on the tech because we are building the tech needed for the DAO. But the DAO is not about AI. Okay, the DAO is we are not solving the AI. That's it. Okay, it's not just about AI. It's part of the reality where we live now. Okay, AI is going to be part of our life. We leverage AI to build the future that is getting destroyed. Okay, so we are using AI to do this, but it's not just about AI. So there is space for creativities, for strategies, for entrepreneurs. There should be space for other niche. Now, while the space should be there, at the moment it doesn't exist. But at the same time, we go back to the problem that I'm the only one, and I'm not pointing fingers, okay? I'm at the moment just I put myself in this strategic position, okay? So I'm not blaming anybody, but I'm the one that is bringing 99.9% of the community members, and I'm failing, okay? So we need to build to leverage our own network and say, okay, let's bring these maybe group of people within the DAO, within our system that don't do AI, don't do tech. Okay, they do something else. They do maybe uh, other aspect of like the what's the name, the governance, for example. Okay, community of creativities. Okay, there is so many other aspects that should be part of this community, like the philosophy aspect and so on, that doesn't require tech, and maybe it's forced. It is exactly. Someone is suggesting marketing, and yeah, there is so many other elements that can be part of this community that don't need to require eye on tech and so on, which they could be involved and be part of this. So think about your network and see what you can do. My YouTube channel is dedicated to this, so I can't mix it with other things. Okay, this is what I'm doing with my YouTube channel. It would not work if I change the topic. So I'm gonna carry on in that thing, but we need to balance this. Otherwise, it's not gonna be a healthy environment. So said this. I think hopefully we have some clarity about what to do next. There is a document, so feel free to add on that document more information. I'm gonna, after tomorrow probably, I'm gonna look at this document better and add more elements from my side. Uh, Anybody that wants to build on this, because we need to actually accelerate, let's touch base on a daily basis so we can uh, get this new version of Resonant OS, understand if that is the direction, if that is the direction we go full in and we implement everything on there. Okay, so thanks a lot everybody, and those are dark days, but we can do